This right here, girl, is an ad. I'm gonna need you to get you some of this Just Move Energy supplement so you can have the energy to get your workouts done like I need to get mine done, girl. It is sometimes a struggle and you need a little extra. Plus the protein shakes. I don't have an appetite a lot of the time. Protein shakes really help me after the workout because I do not want to be on the massage table with my stomach growling because that's where I'm going after this, okay? So I get my protein shake done before, boom, I got both of them. I'm ready, okay? I'm getting old. My knees is a problem. Do you see me warming it up? Do you see me trying to stretch it out? That's 35 pounds. I'm squatting 35 pounds. I'm proud. You can get those gloves and other workout gear from TeamLASHAE.com. The link is down below in the description box, girl. Yes. Girl, I have to give it to myself. You look good, girl. You look good. Juvie. I just had to put him in here because he's cute. I'm on my way to the spa, girl. Piece of serenity. My homegirl does not want to be seen, but she does the best massages. I go to her at least once a week for this muscle situation, girl. And she also gave me this massage cream with CBD in it that really helps with my aches and my pain. So get you some. All of this. Get you some. 15% off with my Relax Me Bondi code. Okay, girl? Get it. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Not come on in. Not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey, everybody. What's up? It's your girl, BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey, everybody. What's up? It's your girl, BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram. And let's get into the video, right?
Come on in. Forgot to take the loop off. Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm back for Weekends on Own. Hi everybody. In case you guys missed it, okay, my members only Love and Marriage Huntsville live just ended, so it is on the community page on YouTube. Excuse me, if you are a member on YouTube, you are a member of BondyBlueShow.com. It is on the forum. It is pinned in the forum at the top, along with the last 2 episodes. And also, if you go to the members only exclusive tab on my website, the Love and Marriage Huntsville live should be there. Patreon, it's on there too. Okay, so it has been posted all over the place. If you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, you are a member of my site, of YouTube, of Patreon. There is a live available now for episode either 18 or episode 3, whichever one it is, child. I do not know. Okay, because on my TV it says season 4 episode 18, but then sometimes it's like season 5 episode 3. Girl, I don't know. Okay, we're just gonna say season 5 episode 3 until we get further information, and I'll go back and change it. But I told y'all, OWN makes it their business to fuck up their seasons and episodes. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know who works in that department at OWN, but this is not the first show they have done that to. They used to work on my nerves with Iyanla, always labeling the season and the episodes wrong, and we like, it's just confusion for no reason whatsoever. So yeah, all right, I don't need to get their seasons and their episode numbers together. We don't appreciate the confusion. Okay, now if anybody was confused about my little post, I was just trying to let y'all know that Love and Marriage Huntsville is a paid only review, because somebody hit me up and was like, Bondi, I wish you still review Love and Marriage Huntsville. And it was like, I still do review Love and Marriage Huntsville. I just don't do it for free. Y'all got to pay for some of these things. It's a career, y'all. This is a career. People get paid to entertain. Okay. People get paid to entertain. Okay. That's how this goes. Now, let's go ahead and get into Family or Fiance. It's not going to be long. I ain't going to keep y'all when it comes to this. Okay, but before we get into it, I'm gonna say that I was looking for a picture of this couple and found the article. I forgot whose website it was on, but a lot of my followers, okay, they tweets were posted on this website because a lot of y'all did not understand how Kiyomi here can have trust issues with Austin. They met in Tokyo. It was a long distance relationship. COVID happened, and she was going to go like months and months and months without seeing him and ask for an open relationship. She was honest with him about the fact that she was dating a guy. He didn't say anything. Then the girl he was seeing, when he tried to break it off with her, hits Kiyomi up and sprays all the information. So now Kiyomi feels like I can't really trust him because I was open and honest with him, but he didn't tell me about what was going on with him. And a lot of y'all felt like, girl, it's an open relationship. He didn't have to tell you anything. I say that's bullshit, y'all. We're going to have to agree to disagree. If that girl came to him open and honest and let him know what her situation was, it was because she was expecting it and like. And he knows that. I think he didn't tell her because he wanted to get back at her because he didn't want the open relationship to begin with. He wasn't keeping it from her because she just didn't need to know. He was being passive aggressive because he's somebody that doesn't like to vocalize his feelings all the way. Like he talked about that the whole episode. He has a very hard time being honest about his emotions, which is another reason not to trust him because you never know what's going on in his head that he's not able to vocalize. And then you do something like have some crazy girl popping up in my DMs telling me that, you know, you her man and all of this type of stuff. And all of that could have in some way or another been diverted if he would have just been honest with her. To me, the reason why she felt like she could not trust him was because you let somebody else outside of our relationship come and tell me some shit that I shouldn't have heard from nobody else. That would, to me, that's what she was bothered behind. Okay. Regardless of it being open, he definitely should have told her. He definitely didn't want to tell her because he did say he didn't want the open relationship. Bondy didn't have an open relationship. They didn't have an open relationship. They broke up. Okay. That's not what he said. But okay. That's fine. I still feel like I don't understand why people can't understand that he still withheld information from her that she didn't withhold from him. I saw he had a white mama. I knew he was about to be problematic immediately. No. I said the same thing. This man will hit you with a breakup while you thought everything was good. And they left it open for homegirls to hit Kiyomi up. He didn't protect her. And see, like, to me, that's where my issue came in. Because to me, it felt like you didn't tell her about old girl because you was mad about her asking for the open relationship. And to me, I don't think they were broken up. I think they were in an open relationship because I think they were still communicating as if they were in a relationship, which is why he knew about what she had going on and she didn't know about what he had going on because he did not tell her. Okay. And then another thing was that they had to still be communicating because they both decided to break it off with the other people. Meaning that when she went to break it off with the dude she was talking to, clean break. When he went to break it off with the chick that she didn't know about, his spot got blew up. It wasn't that he could not be with another person. It's the fact that he still chose to withhold information when there was no need to do so. That's the issue. To me, if I am telling you we're in an open relationship and if we broken up, that makes it even better. Why would you not be open and honest with me about what's going on in your life if I'm doing that with you? Right. I think she said a break, not broken up. Right. And I think it doesn't matter because they were still talking. And the idea that we're being open and honest, I think, is the reason why she felt like she couldn't trust him. On top of the fact that he doesn't communicate well. You can tell he doesn't communicate. Because that girl could have been more problematic than what she did besides spraying the tea. It was definitely an open relationship. He sounded like he didn't break it off with the other girl. He just didn't communicate with the other girl. That's a good point, Shantia, because he said when he tried to break it off, she wasn't hearing it. And we know women can be like that. Shit, everybody can be like that. But it probably makes more sense that he didn't say it and that he just tried to ghost her. But then it makes me feel like, how did she find out about Kiyomi then? Like, I need to understand. There wasn't enough communication. How did she find out about Kiyomi? You know? So I'm thinking he must have told her that he wanted to be with Kiyomi at some point. But yeah, cheating on an open book test. Yes, that's what it's giving. You lying or withholding information for no reason. It still means that I would question whether I could trust you if you're not being open with me and I'm being open with you. You know? Another thing that annoyed me the whole episode, like from the very beginning of the episode, she kept saying he wasn't a leader. And then her mom, godmother, and best friend kept saying, oh, well, we don't, we felt like she would pick someone who was a leader and he's not a leader. And I'm like, he's in the Navy, he works, and he's in school. What's not leading? Like, what does that look like? Because to me, sometimes I feel like I hate when women are always saying shit like that. I need a man that can lead. I need a man that can lead. Because to me, a lot of times what leading means is that are you responsible? Can you take care of responsibilities the way you're supposed to as an adult? I feel like he probably was babied by that white mother, coddled, you know? And I'm not saying this for a fact, but it sounds like he may have been coddled and also told to withhold honesty in emotion. Like what he was taught in his household, don't be honest about your emotions and you have to be a certain way. It was given some type of like anxiety around people, like, I don't want to say autistic because I don't feel like that was it, but it was something that is obviously deeper than just he doesn't communicate. Like he seems to be kind of talking robotically almost as if communicating period is hard from him from some deeper place. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they were saying something without saying it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, what are you talking about leading? It's not like, this is what I mean. Every man is not supposed to pay the bills just because he has a dick. Every man is not supposed to tell you what the plan is going to be just because he has a dick. So if he's working, he's in school to take care of y'all, that's leading. So when you tell me he's not doing these other things, what that sounds like to me is that he's been coddled. And I would like for old girl to know, yes, most of these niggas have been. And her complaints really sounded like shit that most women deal with in their relationships with men when they're younger, which is having to take care of these men in some way like you're a mother. Meaning that even though both parties are working, you're still doing more laundry. You're still cleaning the house more. You might be in charge of the bills. You might do all the grocery shopping. Like that happens a lot of the times in relationships. And it's not always something that can be fixed because some men aren't micro, you know what I'm saying? They aren't able to do all those things at one time. They can focus on school when they at school. They can focus on work when they at work. But when they get home, they can't do laundry, do dishes, clean up, ask you how you doing. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't do all of those things at one time because they haven't been raised or socialized to have to. So a lot of times in these relationships, women have to then teach and train their men how to be in relationships. Y'all get so caught up when I say train. Y'all don't like that word. But I feel like some men need to be trained because they're going to fight you on being taught something. If somebody is just being taught, they're receiving the information because they know they need the lesson. So teach me, I'm being taught. But if somebody is acting like they don't want the information, we fucking grown. You're not a child. So now I have to train you in order to be in a home with another person because you think that, I'm supposed to be your mama and be picking up and doing every little fucking thing for you because that's what you were accustomed to in your household. That's like it's a general thing. Most men need training. It is a very general thing. In this society, men are raised to not lift a finger, and that is not realistic in a time period where now men and women work. Men and women work. So now what happens inside households has to change, but people haven't caught up to that. It's hilarious to me. They have not caught up to teaching boys how to take care of themselves as if they're going to have to one day take care of themselves. They literally like teach boys to find women to take care of them. They don't teach them to do all of those things for themselves. And then if they find a partner and their partner may like washing dishes and they like sweeping, then I'll do this one and you do that one because I don't like doing this, but you don't mind doing this. So like it'll end up working out for your benefit because you don't always have to do everything. They don't always have to do everything, you know? But I feel like the idea is that men are supposed to do this and women are supposed to do that. And that's not realistic. So when they were having that conversation about him leading, the entire time I was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Usually when we're saying a man isn't leading, it's because the nigga not working or he has no vision for himself. And that's not the case with Austin. So really what I felt like is that there is some social skills that he's lacking, some coddling that's taking place, some babying, and an inability to actively communicate honestly with the people around him out of his own insecurities and his own fears. Like when him and his mom were like sharing their emotions and shit, because we're going to get to it, it felt like they were fighting through their teeth. Okay, with the emotion, like trying so hard to keep that emotion in, but it was coming out anyway. You know what I mean? So it just kind of feels as if, I don't know what their household was like growing up, but it feels as if they were not taught how to healthily emote, how to show emotion, how to have feelings, you know, in a healthy way. It almost seems like everybody was being taught to hold things in. But anyway, y'all, we already talked about the fact that Austin is biracial, and y'all know that has its own set of challenges, especially when it's a white mother and a black father. Okay. I don't know. Don't ask me, but it shows us there are a lot of issues, you know, in relationships. Yeah, I'm sorry. Lyric would leave, and now Jew is downstairs barking, but he's just gonna have to bark. Hold up, y'all. Okay, so Kiyomi says she wishes that Austin wouldn't take things so personal that she says. I feel like we didn't really delve as deeply into their relationship as we should have. And that's another thing I've started to notice about Family or Fiance. Sometimes instead of focusing on the issues that they have in the relationships, they focus on the issues that the people have with their family. And I get that is an aspect of it, but to me it seemed as if there were a lot of things we kind of glazed over in their relationship that will eventually cause them issues. Okay. Her saying that he takes the things she say too personal makes me wonder if she can adequately communicate with him without him always getting his feelings hurt. And that makes me feel like that comes from his mom coddling him and holding back emotion. So now, whenever someone is cut and dry with him, he can't take it because nobody was ever honest about anything. You know, everything's fine, everything's okay. Well, guess what? That's not the case. Now, you know, I feel like that about a lot of people, especially like coming from me, a person that's direct. I'm very cut and dry sometimes. Like, I don't know why people think conversations always need so much extra, but yes, no, this or that. Like I'm one of those people in my everyday life. I spend so much time talking and pontificating on here and in, you know, other spaces in my life that when I'm out in the world, I don't need to always be fucking talking to people. And I can remember one of my friends telling me that when she first met me, you know, they didn't know how to take me because I was very cut and dry and I didn't do a lot of talking. And I'm just kind of like, what the fuck was I supposed to say? But it's the way people will perceive you because you are very cut and dry. They want you to flour and sugar the shit out of every interaction. And nobody has the patience, time, or energy to be doing that shit. Okay. I don't know what that's about with people, but to me, it feels like that's what the place Austin is coming from, where he feels like he only needs to be flouring and sugaring shit every time they have a conversation about something. And nobody's doing that. We're adults. Like, Deal with the fact that everybody's conversation, everybody's interaction isn't made to make you feel good. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I come off as curt to people when I just don't add fluff to the facts. Yes. 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 That's exactly what it is. I don't sugarcoat anything for adults. I'm direct and to the point, and people think I'm mean. Same with me. Hey, Bondi, you're a friend in my head. Love your show. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Like in real life, that's how people will perceive me. And it's like, I don't like, I'm vocally tired most of the time. If I'm, yeah, I do this so much that when I'm outside of this, I usually don't like to talk a lot. Believe it or not, like, yeah, in conversation with my friends or with my husband, if we're talking about somewhere into something, yeah, I might talk, of course. But because I spend so much time talking on camera, there are certain parts of my day where I vocally would love to not say a word. And it's because I use it so much. I use it so much, it gets tired. And then I don't want to use it just for casual conversation about any old thing. No, yes, no, thank you, bye. Okay, that's all you're gonna get sometimes. Don't mean that I'm mean, don't mean I don't like you. It just mean that I don't know what else you want from me. Like when people be like, you're just direct. I'm like, and how else am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to circle the fucking airport before I give you a yes or a no to a question? Like, what's that supposed to look like? I don't know. I don't know, girl. I don't know. But anyway, that was something I heard. Also, Austin is big on church. He feels his faith was tested and their relationship was strengthened when his father got cancer. And that's another thing. So Austin's parents got a divorce and it was never explained to him why. And then his father got cancer and then passed away. Kiyomi helped him through that, which helped their relationship grow them closer together. But it's also giving trauma bond. So let's be careful. Okay. And Kiyomi doesn't really allow Austin to lead. She handles a lot of the things herself. And she says that even though she wants him to lead, it's hard for her to let go of the reins. And this is my advice when women have that issue. There needs to be things that you know you have to do, and there needs to be things that you need to put on his plate for him to do. Okay? And the things that you put on his plate for him to do so that your plate can be a little bit more balanced, leave them to him. If it don't get paid, it don't get paid. If if it's dirty, it's dirty. Okay? And if it stays like that too long, you know that you can do better by yourself, right? That means you can get up out this situation and take care of yourself by yourself without having another person making your house dirty, without having another person adding more to the electricity and the water bill. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Without another cell phone bill, without another insurance, without another, you know what I'm saying? Like another person is more bills either way. Okay? So if the person is not pulling their weight, the weight that you have designated, okay, everybody, this is what you do, this is what I do. You're not doing your part. I'm doing my part. I'm gonna keep doing my part until I've decided that me doing my part is not enough for this relationship. So this relationship needs to be over because you can't handle your part and I'm not doing mine and yours just to stay here. Okay? Like, let it go. Let it fall by the wayside. Let the shit pile up. Let it be dirty. Like, I'm just telling you. Let the grass get tall. And then when you can't take it no more, leave. Okay? Leave. They'll figure it out. I'm surprised that he still feels that way considering he was in the military. They normally abuse that coddling out of you. Men come back normally aggressive and confused. I was also, that's why another reason why I did not understand them saying that he wasn't what you call him. You know what I'm saying? Nah, nobody's cutting grass. But I listen. Trust me, there has been a fight around here. Oh, so you're just gonna keep letting it grow, huh? Now nigga go outside and cut the grass before it gets too big. Cause I'm like, you're gonna keep letting the neighbors beat you to cutting the grass, huh? Okay. Now nigga be out there cutting that grass, okay? Nah, but we used to have somebody doing it, and then they was slacking, and so I was like, listen, either I'm gonna get somebody else or you gonna do it. So pick, okay? Why do people feel they need to live with another person? Do we really need that? Think about it. This sounds horrible. It does. Okay. It does. I mean, not in my situation. Like I don't feel like that. Like I actually, our shit is kind of cool for the most part at this point in our relationship. But it definitely had to be like, well, I guess it's not gonna get done. But I'm not about to be type A personality doing everything all the fucking time just so it can get done. So you can pretend like you can't do some shit. Cause niggas love to act stupid so that they don't have to do stuff. Remember that too. The Navy is different from all the branches. My husband said that people in the Navy don't have to go through the BS like other branches of military. Apparently. Okay. But anyway, again, with them having trust issues. So at dinner, they discuss her having to step back so Austin can lead. Austin has issues with his brother as well. Thank you, Brojita Noir, for becoming a member. Thank you, love. And all my other members who became members. Okay. Thank you, Lauren Miller. Thank you, LL, for becoming a member. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate you. Okay. So it seems like there are a lot of brothers. A lot of them must have issues because the brother seemed weird too. And it's like, I don't know what y'all did to them children, but y'all made them weird. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know how to like emote. They seem to not really be able to communicate with their thinking and how they're feeling in a way that doesn't feel like gritting through teeth. Like it feels like it's a struggle for them to like just have regular conversations. And I don't understand, like I don't know what was done in the household besides the daddy being a whore, because Tracy forced Austin to talk to his mother about what happened in her marriage, since nobody has any idea what happened. And she basically said that he cheated on her constantly and he always wanted somebody to be chasing him. And she felt like an idiot. She felt ashamed. And it's hard for them to let emotions show. And so she just kind of dealt with it for so long. And you know what was so funny, when we were talking about his mom and the dad, I instantly thought about all the stories that we've been listening to. You watch Cynthia G and Chrissy and Yanni and everybody else that does all the, mostly about interpersonal relationships and black women black women specifically leveling up in life and getting out of this very male-centered mindset about the way they live their lives. Everything is about a nigga. Getting a nigga, scamming a nigga, keeping a nigga, getting somebody else nigga, fucking, and everything's about a nigga for a lot of women. And that's just really sad because most people's focus should be on themselves and then finding a partner that works with who you are once you figured your shit out. But of course, it's not going to always go down like that, but it does seem that people make other people the main centerpiece of their lives in an unhealthy way. And it made me think about all of the white women that thought they were getting a better version of black men and ended up with the same whoring version that a black woman got. Okay. It just, I don't know what was going on in their household, but something seems very disconnected in the mental emotional department for both of the sons. They talked about being better in their relationship and kind of not being as close since the dad passed away. I wonder if the dad was abusive. Like I have so many questions about what this man must have really been like as it pertains to the relationship that they saw. Because it feels to me that black man probably thought he got with some weak white lady that he could dog out. He impregnated her with all of those children. She gave him all of those sons, and he dogged her out at every turn. And she felt ashamed because she probably thought she had won something at some point. Okay, probably thought she had gotten, some good version of a black man or something like that. And you find out that he ain't no different than the black man he was to, whatever black woman that he might have talked so bad about. And that's another thing I was wondering. I was like, so were you feeling bad because you heard him talk bad about black women throughout your relationship? And then come to find out he might have been cheating on you with one, and realize all of that shit he was telling you about black women all that time was some bullshit. And you went along with it and felt that you were on some pedestal because he chose you. And now you're realizing that that was all foolishness and you built a life off of that. This is conjecture, but it made me think about that. That's what it made me think about. That may not have been the case for this lady. This lady may have never been one of those white women that thought that she had got a leg up on some, on a black woman. But we've noticed a lot of the times the basis of black men's relationships with white women is the idea that white women are weaker. And so they're going to allow for more mistreatment and stay quiet about it, first of all, especially back in the day. Second of all, it also has the pretense that their life has been better than it actually has been. Was he cheating with black women? See, that's another question I have. Because if she said he was constantly cheating, something tells me he probably wasn't constantly cheating with one type of woman. When he said they can't ask certain questions or allowed to ask what happened or why they got divorced, I was like, what the fuck? STG, I hate that always about a man and keeping a man, taking a man, being like, yeah, I got you. That part, Bondi. I see all these clear women bragging about getting and having mixed babies on social media, then coming back complaining about how they ain't ish if they didn't they don't get out my face. Was he cheating with black women? I don't know, but something tells me he probably cheated with different types of women. Like if he was cheating constantly cheating, tells me you probably cheating with everybody. If he was, he probably didn't have a type. Exactly. But probably made her feel like she, was so deserving of big black cock because, the black girls ain't shit, and made her feel good about herself, and then found out, nigga, you the one ain't shit. Or self-hate. Anything that opposite of black, they chase. True. They get the same black man we get. They sure do. But she said that he always wanted somebody to chase him. She said that. She was like, your daddy always wanted somebody to chase him. And I'm like, oh, Lord. That's because he would get with women and he could play those mind games with. I'm telling you, that lady probably, did a lot of running. And why are you doing this and trying to be perfect until she couldn't do it no more? And then you give up and you let his ass go and then he die and everybody looking at you like you fucked up. Ain't that some shit? Okay. I hope she didn't take care of him. Too many black men just be wanting someone to exert power over. Yeah, because that's how they feel when they're having sex. Like they're, having power over somebody. I know so many white women that leave black men and go right back to white men once they find out they're not special. I feel like it's a phase. It's a I want to be cool, I want to make daddy mad phase. And then once they get it and they see what it's about, and yeah, good dick is great, but life is more than good dick. You can't go to the grocery store with good dick. You can't go to the bank with good dick. You can't buy a house with good dick. You can't get health insurance and not die because of good dick. You know what I'm saying? Like the good dick is not going to help you get the good service at the hospital when you're having a baby. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's very much a fetish, and the fetish comes from wanting to be cool and wanting to have something that's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of white women have been given that pure, clear, we can do no wrong moniker, and that shit is boring. That shit is boring and they don't like it, which is why at some point or another, they want to go and stretch out and be opposite of that. And that usually comes in the form of fucking some black dude to make daddy mad. And then they go, if they can go back to white people, they go back to white people. If they can. You heard me, right? If they can. But anyway, that's some people's decision, girl. I ain't too worried about it. But that lady looked like, that man really put her through the ringer. And I feel like she might have let him abuse her kids too. And when I say abuse, I mean beat on, because they all seem like traumatized. Like his interactions just were very, very like, what did y'all do to him? You know what I'm saying? Like what y'all did to him, So when they talked to Tracy, they discussed Kiyomi having to get used to not controlling everything. Everyone gives their blessing. Kiyomi is struggling to give up control after the show, but Austin is still trying. He and his brother go back to their superficial communication. So nothing has changed. But he did seem to he did seem to have more confidence by the time we got to the end. Like knowing what happened with his parents seemed to help him assert himself a little bit more. And I think that's what she was looking for. She was looking for somebody to assert themselves. But I'ma just go ahead and say I don't think it's gonna work. Um, and I hate to say it like that, but I feel like he's not going to be much different than he already is. I feel like all of that coddling, all of the shit that his parents put in place for him to just do, his portion of the work, that shit gonna set in eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like she gonna get tired eventually. She gonna get wore out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I feel. I don't think it's going to change that much. Mm. But anyway, let me see what y'all saying before I move on. I don't think so either. She's looking for him to be something he's not, and it's gonna get yes, that's what I feel. I feel like she's looking for him to be something that he's not. They sound like she was married to dude from Ready to Love. Oh, I don't know who you talking about. Uh, which dude from Ready to Love? He played the Jedi mind trick on them. I saw you. It wasn't me, but I know your car. It wasn't me, or maybe it wasn't you. Peace of mind is worth more than some peen. Good D usually comes with a lackluster man. Oh Lord, I don't see confidence in them. He's very peculiar. I don't think. Yeah, he's looking for a mother. Hashtag Team LASHAE. Oh, all right. But yeah, y'all. With that being said, oh God, I hate these fucking nets. With that being said, y'all, like the video. We're about to move on to Ready to Love. Okay, I can. So, y'all, first of all, I want to say prayers out to nephew Tommy. We saw over the weekend nephew Tommy let everybody know that he had basically gone through throat cancer and now has gotten all the cancer out of his throat. Okay, and we're grateful for it, and now we know why he seemed to be uninterested in the past couple of like seasons of this show, because I thought his energy seemed different. I just didn't know what was going on. Like, and he's just like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And cancer will do that to you. So I'm so glad that nephew Tommy is healed and he's doing better. And I'm looking forward to what else he's going to do, and maybe a revitalizing of the show, because it absolutely feels like there needs to be a revitalization of the show. And when I say that, I mean that y'all need new producers. I don't know who the producers are. This is no tea, this is no shade. But Ready to Love was terrible these last 2 seasons. And I don't know if it's because Tommy was sick or what. Okay, because y'all know, like, if somebody who's in charge of the girls isn't able to be in charge of the girls to capacity, then things can fall to the wayside in some respect. But I do recognize a lot of y'all have been saying that the men on Ready to Love are all from Tommy's fraternity. Y'all need to stop doing that. Y'all need to stop doing that. Y'all need to, actually find people that really want to find somebody. Like, honestly, I feel like maybe y'all need to call the people from Love Match Atlanta or something, and see what's in the database. Because I'm gonna need for y'all to stop finding people that just want to act, that just want to be on television for this show, because it's been bad. It's been bad. No real connections, no real relationships. None of the men seem at all appetizing. The women, of course, are being like hella fucking. The women are, you know, thirsty for men. Like, and I don't mean thirsty in a bad way, because I feel like, like, yeah, okay. Like, if I was single, girl, I'd be out here dating. I'd be out here looking for wherever it's at. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I feel like these women come off like they'll do anything for a man. And these men aren't even worth all of that. Okay. And what I mean by that is it feels like the women are always willing to give more than the men. It feels like the men are always trying to figure out a way to manipulate the women. And it seems that the women are always ready to fight each other over some dick. Now, let me tell y'all, I love me, some Belle Collective. But if it ain't nothing she didn't never say that I didn't disagree with more, it's fighting over dick. I don't fight over dick. I don't think it's necessary. There are too many dicks out there. Okay. If the dick is mine, I don't need to fight over it. And if I'm put in a position where it seems as if this dick might be between me and another bitch, then it better be because I want it that way. Because if not, then you can go on ahead. You can just go on ahead. Okay. Because the desperation to fight and be messy for men that are barely interested, sad. Okay. So let's go ahead to get into it. But y'all know I wanted to start off by saying, I'm glad that nephew Tommy is doing better. And that I'm glad that, that came out, because I felt like something was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all, let's go ahead and get into the notes. So y'all know they do this group trip thing, right? LJ wasn't there because he had to work. Tommy was acting like he felt a way about that, but at the end of the day, y'all didn't send LJ home, did y'all? I hope not. I hope y'all didn't, because he was, he was better than Samson to me. Sharice and Samson drove up together. He says he really connects with her. He sees a lot of himself in her. I'm like, yeah, the cold light skin. Yeah, the cold light skin. That's what it feels like y'all have in common. Y'all are both very guarded people. And y'all are both very light complected. I think that's what y'all see in each other, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Trinika, Brandy, and Mike drove up together. Okay, don't get any of that Beijing on you. Okay, don't get none on you. All right, now, shit. Kadeen and and I was just like, isn't that befitting? Isn't that befitting? Y'all seem to be two of the most thirstiest women on this show. And I hate to say that, you know what I mean? Because y'all know I don't like to disrespect the ladies. I really don't. Okay, but I gotta call a thing here. And Kadeen and Jamala are two of the thirstiest women on this show. They're willing to do the most fighting for an okay. So the fact that they drove up together, birds of a feather flock together. Kadeen feels better because she and Swayze have decided to wear the same tennis shoes. Y'all know they was beefed out because she said he only dated white girls and he was all mad. But Jamie said that they dating in real life because Swayze is all over her Instagram. And I'm like, oh, that's cute for them, girl. I guess he not just dating white girls no more. So, Randall came alone, and I feel like Randall came alone, Jamala, because he wanted you to know that he was there alone. He was there as a single man to have conversations and experiences with all three of the ladies he has a connection with. You feeling the need to put your shit in his room like y'all drove up together? I guess you was trying to have you a Joy Clifton moment. Okay, it didn't work out that way, girl. It didn't work out that way. Y'all saw Joy and Clifton got engaged down to the local news station. I said, not down to the local news station. Now, let me tell y'all something. I love love. And like my girl Roxanne, I do want every motherfucker to be in love if that's what they want. Okay? I do. But there is a part of me that feels like getting engaged on a network local news channel just so the engagement can be further documented. It felt like, what's more important, y'all be engaged and having a successful relationship and marriage, or that everybody see that y'all made it and that y'all still together. Because I tell y'all, a lot of times the relationships on Ready to Love, if they do work out, sometimes seem like they're working out because they want to prove everybody wrong. Because they want to prove all the naysayers wrong. So we going to stay together and we going to do shit like propose on network local news. As somebody that used to work in local news, I just kind of feel like unless you work at the news station, getting engaged to at the local news station isn't as great of a flex as they thought it was. But congratulations. Congratulations. I hope y'all happy. I do. I do. And I mean that. I don't say shit I don't mean. Unless I'm being facetious, and I'm not. I really do hope y'all are happy, but it still looked like y'all wanted people to see it. And if you care that much about us seeing it, there's a part of me that feels like it's not really about y'all connection to each other. It's about y'all being seen together. And everybody seeing that y'all relationship is real. And because y'all know we ain't really like y'all. Y'all know y'all turned out to be the villains at the end of y'all season. And I think this is we still together and we happy and kiss our ass. Like that's what the proposal on the local news did. And that's great. That's great. But I still felt like, all right, girl, congratulations. Like nigga proposed to me down to the house, okay? Propose to me at a family dinner and put it on Instagram, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Go live during my shit. But don't actually be live and mic'd up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just felt a little. She upgraded from a key to a ring. Girl, it worked out. It worked out for her. That's almost every relationship to prove everyone he was a bad boy, but love for me changed him. No, you just made it hard to leave. and you just desperate to stay there too. Okay. I don't know why people think that holding on to a piece of man mean you did something, as if these niggas not always looking for somebody to come and lay up and through that's warm and know how to cook a good plate of chicken. But yeah, y'all. Listen. It's how I felt. It's how I felt. I can't lie. But anyway, back to this season of Ready to Love. Tommy says LJ not being there is a red flag. I told y'all that LJ was giving player vibes, and I stand on it. Sweet, but player vibes. Tommy wants to figure out whether their connections are for real or for play. And one of the men is going home at the end of the episode, but we didn't get to see which man went home. But, give me a second. Let's go through it. So Mike asked Kadeen why she doesn't have more than one connection. Mike, why are you always asking women questions that put them on the defense? Mike, why are all your questions framed as if something is wrong with the woman? Mike, what's wrong with you? Mike, why do you color your beard and your hair? Mike, do you realize it seems as if you've outlined your face? I have questions. I missed the exclusive video. You did, but that's okay. You're here now. I don't think that I don't think Mike should be asking any more questions that put a woman on defense. I'm not Kadeen's biggest fan. Okay. I'm not. I don't like her energy at all. But at the same time, I did not like the way he asked her that question, because it reminded me of when he first started talking to Brandy and he was like, so why you don't have nobody? As if I have a man, that means nothing is wrong with me. But if I don't have a man, something must be wrong with me. Not something wrong with all you niggas outlining y'all faces with paint because y'all don't want to look y'all age, right? Not something wrong with y'all. Something wrong with me? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's how he felt. That's fine. So Kadeen says, you can't, Kadeen flipped it on him and was like, child, listen, yeah, I have one connection. That's all I needed. We only going to leave here with one person. Why don't you have just one connection? What's going on with you and Kayla and Brandy? What's going on here? And what it really seemed is that he will say one thing in front of Kayla and another thing in front of Brandy. He values Brandy as the woman he can be with in front of everybody, but sees Kayla as the sexy girl he just wants to fuck. But she's too difficult to be in a relationship with. Brandy gonna go along. Brandy gonna try to appease you. Brandy is, she's more of a Tisha. Okay, that's no disrespect, but y'all know what I mean. She gonna lay down and she gonna take it at one point or another because she wanna have that fine man so bad, bleeding all over her pillows and shit. She wanna be with him so bad. So she gonna fight for him. She gonna stick in there. But Kayla at some point is gonna give you her ass to kiss and let you know that you should be lucky to be sucking on her shit. And I like her energy. I like her energy when it comes to that because I feel like Mike think he is the bee's knees out here. And I just feel like, nigga, if you can't let your grades come in, you ain't that. You ain't that. You ain't that. If you can't let your grades come in, nigga, then you ain't all that. If you gotta color it because you feel insecure about where you at in your age and this life, you ain't all that. In my opinion. I don't give a fuck. I said what I said. So Kadeen says she thinks of Brandy and Mike being married, and Kayla is the hot girl at work that he cheats with. Kadeen, you's an old messy ass bitch for saying that shit, but it's the true, girl. I ain't gonna, I ain't mad at you. It's how he see it. Kadeen decides to dig into Mike. She wants to know what Mike and Kayla have in common. And Mike says that he hasn't given Kayla an opportunity to really see him. Kayla feels like that's for Brandy's benefit, and I agree. Kayla says that's a deflection. It seems different when they're in private. So she just gets up and walks away. To me, at this point, I wouldn't even be fooling with Mike if I was Kayla because he keep playing her like she a side order. He's playing you like you're a soybean burger, bruh. Okay? Like, it's not cool. He playing you like you a side. Like, do I look like a fucking French fry? Do I look like a fucking French fry? Then why are you trying to play me like a side order? That's another movie. That's another movie reference that y'all might not get. Okay. Okay. Who knows the movie reference? Put it down in the comments. Okay. Love 40, baby. So, remember, baby? She was on the phone with this nigga. Why you took the phone call so you could tell this nigga he's trying to play you like a side order when you could have said, I don't want to talk to him. Hang the phone up. Anyway, 40 ounces of love. Ooh, so intoxicating. 40 ounces of love. Ooh, so inebriating. Girl, I'm getting drunk on you. First of all, Hill Harper, I will always love you for that role. Okay, listen, I can't wait to see Hill Harper and Mel go out on a date. I cannot wait. Okay. And I'm gonna tell Mel that she have to FaceTime me at some point so that he can do Love 40 for me. Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be hilarious if you like was able to get Hill Harper on and then be like, okay, Mel, come on.
Yeah. You know what? That would be dope. That would be dope. I would love to interview Hill Harper. I would. Child, love me some Hill Harper. Anyway, you know, he didn't play him many a good role, y'all. Remember when he was Kenny's gay brother on Soul Food and he had the HIV? That was a good episode. It was messy, but it was good.
He was also Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Huh?
He was also Jesus Shuttlesworth's little cousin.
Yeah, child. Don't remind me of that terrible ass movie. That movie was porn.
It was.
Okay, that movie was porn. Anyway, so Randall and Jamala have some tension. She wants him to let it be known who he's into. She ready for him to pick a side, okay? And Randall feels pressured and it's showing, meaning that he letting her know he ain't really liking it. She putting all this extra pressure on him, okay? So Jamala mentions Kayla having the best room. And he was like, why are you telling me that? Would you telling me I need to go in her room? She was like, well, I didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to go over there? He was like, I'm just saying you throwing it out there like that. And they kind of get up and walk out. And I did not know what was going on in that moment, but it felt passive aggressive on both their parts. It feels like she's trying to press you to choose, and it feels like you're looking for a reason to argue with her so that you have, you have more leeway with the other women if you and Jamala aren't in a good place. And she don't even realize that. She don't even realize that by not just chilling and being over here somewhere like Brandy, she's putting herself in a worse situation. Like Brandy played her cards a little bit better. She know Mike for her, but she can sit there with Kayla and have a conversation without us seeing no type of like weird interactions really between she and Kayla. You know what I'm saying? Jamala, on the other hand, gotta have her hair wrap on in your room and put some of her stuff next to your bed and all of this unnecessary shit. Bitch, go in your room. Okay? Go in your room. Let that man come and get you. Okay? Like that's what y'all really, that's what they don't understand. I feel like they showing way too much aggression towards these niggas. Let these niggas come get you. Okay? I would have been off somewhere by myself. You know, you hoes need to get y'all some audible accounts. Okay, get you an audible account in the earbud, bitch. Okay, that way whenever you don't have nobody to talk to, okay, put your earbud in and be sitting there listening to something on your phone by your motherfucking self. This is how niggas come running outside looking for you because they ain't seen you in a minute. Okay, you need to go in and be off by yourself. Learn how to be by yourself. Because see, once you learn how to be by yourself, then you'll learn how in moments, how to take yourself out of the equation in order to learn. Because running, when all of them women running after that nigga, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna go off on, you know, I'm gonna go off somewhere else, girl. I'm gonna go on to the pool and put my feet in a pool and look at the sky and shit. Okay. And then the nigga gonna come looking for me because he gonna get tired of them hoes being all over him. That's my mindset. That's how I would be. But not Jamala, girl. Not Jamala, girl. She won't fight. Okay. She won't tussle. She want him to pick a side. Okay. Samson and Brandy have a moment, and it seems like he's more interested in Sharice. To me, this is when we realize how fake Samson is. And I feel like, y'all hate when I be right. I hate when I be right like this. Didn't I tell y'all from the beginning that Samson seemed cool, but it was coming off like, nah, nigga, you too cool with everybody, which means you probably coming off fake. If you getting along with this many people, it's probably more of a sign that you're able to keep counteracting people's negative interactions, which means your interactions are fake. You know what I'm saying? Like when people are having honest interactions, they will like or not like a person. But if somebody is getting along and cool with everybody like that, it's usually because they're shifting. They're shifting and moving based off of who they're around. And when Brandy said that he was giving gifts to everybody that was personally for them, I said he is used to being able to juggle a lot of women, which means he's putting on a lot of different faces, which means we haven't seen the real Samson yet. And that is scary to me. It is very scary to me for a man to smile and seem like he's so cool, so sweet, and so nice, but I have yet to see an honest version of him, which means whenever he gets upset, he probably gonna be something else. And a lot of women don't think about that, but as somebody that, you know, grew up with an angry father in one respect or another, you need to be able to see what people's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde shit is on. You know what I'm saying? I need to see what you look like when you get upset, because I don't need you going from smooth and cool to bitching out on me. And now I'm completely taken aback. You see what I'm saying? Samson definitely gave insincere. Okay. So Brandy asked who Samson was favoring, and he was like talking around it. He almost made it seem as if, you know, oh, why you asking me that? You talking to somebody too right now. Why you asking me that? And I was like, I don't think she's asking you that because she wants you to choose, Samson. I think she asking just out of curiosity for the scene, brother. I don't think she really cares. I think that Brandy wants to be with Mike. And that's who she got her sights set on. I don't think she's really worrying about Samson, but she is smart enough to keep her connections with other men because she did not want to be the girl that was all over Mike running behind him, because she's seen the way Mike responds when people ask direct questions, when people come at him with that straight, you know what I'm saying, no chaser shit. He can't deal with it. That's why Kayla is just a sometime girl for him, because Kayla's too direct. He needs somebody that's going to sugar shit for him. He needs somebody that's going to coddle him. And that's who Brandy is. Brandy's gonna, pull away at the right moment and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? To give him the space that he needs so she cannot, crowd him. She knows she's already on what he wants. So she's acting accordingly. And that's why when she was talking to Samson, I was like, Samson, that girl is not really worried about you. Okay? Calm down. Okay? And then he says that she's spunky and he saw her dancing on Mike. And I was like, that felt like shade. Almost like you were joking about it, but it's something you wouldn't want your woman to do. So instead of saying that, because that sounds crazy to say, oh, I wouldn't want my woman doing that. That's a red flag for you to say that to a woman. And you know that because you're very self-aware, right? So what you do instead is laugh and clown and bring it up. But you bring it up in a way that lets her know you kind of saw it as a negative in one way or another. And so now she's aware of how you feel about what she did with the other dude. That type of shit, I would be worried about arguments and disagreements with somebody like Samson, Kadeen and Swayze are cooking and kissing in the kitchen. They were actually really, really cute. It was shade and Brandy picked up on it. So yeah, she did. She's very smart. Very smart. And I think that she reads very well. She reads very well because I think she understands like how to, who the men are and how to move accordingly. But obviously something ain't right about Brandy because you find yourself wanting one of the most defensive, problematic, insecure men on the show is the one you decided to link yourself to so heavily. And I get it because of what he depicts for her. He's dark, he's strong, he's big, and he looked like he's gonna tear the pussy up. He is a little bit difficult, so he's not boring. You know what I'm saying? So she's looking at those things, but she's not paying attention to the way he puts her on the defense all the time. And I think at some point that shit gets exhausting. But it's not until women have gone through a cycle with you over and over and over and over and over and over again do they start to get tired and notice the cycle. Because they'll tell themselves it's something that they can work with, something they can change. But eventually, Mike will tire you out, which is why he didn't have nobody. You should have been asking him why him and his wife wasn't together. What'd you do? Did we ever find out why Mike and his wife broke up? Do we even know? Because I would like to have a conversation with her to find out what happened. Why did you guys break up? Because to me, it feels like he's one of them I'ma wear you down ass niggas. Like that's what it feels like. Like I'ma just keep wearing her ass down. You never know what character you'll meet at home with Samson after dancing on Mike. Yeah. Yeah, it seems more physical with Brandy's attraction. Yes, to me, it feels like her physical attraction is what is guiding her to do what she's doing as far as making him her main focus. But Kadeen and Swayze were cute in the kitchen. I'm not going to front on them. Trinika and Randall are having a moment. He says he spent more time with Jamala than Trinika and Kayla. Trinika says she isn't worried about him and the other women. Trinika is another one. So there are a lot of women that know how there are a lot of women that know how to observe men, see what they like, see what they want, see what they need, and turn into it. Okay? A lot. Okay? Okay, I will learn you. Women know how to learn the person and then show up as what that person wants, right? So I feel like Trinika is one of those women, which is why she's titties and ass, as far as I'm concerned. Trinika is no bra, titties and ass, all big smiles and high voice, okay? Because she is projecting an image for you. This is how she gets the man in, okay? But we saw how she popped off when they was about to let her ass go, right? Which lets you know, yes, Trinika is playing a game. So in this moment with Randall, that's all I could think about was, oh, Randall is now seeing Trinika as a place of solace, running from Jamala and not really wanting to deal with Kayla because Kayla is another direct personality. Trinika is big soft titties and come talk to me and everything's okay. And we'll, do yoga, we'll pray, we'll do positive affirmations. Like she's giving you that. But it's coming off as projection. It's not really who I am, but it's a role that I can play comfortably to get what I'm trying to get. Okay. So I did notice that about that interaction with he and Trinika. He's starting to see her in a different light. She's genuine. Yeah. All that means is she feels easy to you. And for men, that's what's most important, that a woman feel easy to them. Especially when it comes to being in a relationship. Maybe not to have sex with. That's why they don't mind, having those back and forths and that hot, angry sex with women like Kayla. But in their household, they want a woman that's going to shut up, right? So they're going to put more of an effort into being in a relationship with the women that they know will be quiet. But they still going to fuck the Kaylas, okay? All right. So Trinika, okay, wait, no, I said that. Okay, at the pool, Kayla is hanging on Randall's shoulder and Jamala comes outside and she is bothered that Kayla is being openly affectionate towards Randall. At some point, she asked if he would like to go inside, and they do go inside. And Kayla just goes and lays on Randall's bed and was like, come on, let's just have some alone time. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kikiing with Kayla because I thought it was funny as well. And it was, it was petty, but that's some shit that's some shit I do. I'll be like, oh, she big mad, huh? All right, I'm about to go lay on her bed then. See what she gonna do. Why you mad? We met him at the same time. He's not yours if I have him all the time. He's not yours if I have him all the time. Okay? Like, I feel like Jamala doesn't realize how she played herself going into his room to get her hat. She was so upset that they weren't even in his room for that long. And she was so upset. And that bothered him and made him feel away. And Kayla was just like, whoo, whoo, whoo. That shit was funny. I was giggling. Anyway, Samson and Cherise, Kadeen and Swayze go ride jet skis together. Like, that's the couples. Right now, it seems that's the couples with no confusion. Trinika FaceTimes with LJ so she can put her titties in his face. And then she said she was going to send him a sexy picture later. And I'm just like, all right, girl. Okay. We like to send sexy pictures and stuff. We get it, girl. But to our husband and not one of the niggas on the show. I know you can trust LG. He not going to show your nudes to nobody. So Sharik and Samson spend some time alone. They having a good time, but he's not letting her in. Meaning the same corny nigga that Brandy got is the same corny nigga that Sharice is getting. And Sharice said she felt like, he was joking and doing, all this, doing all of that type of shit to keep the distance between them. That's what it felt like. And I agree. I absolutely agree. Samson, yeah, everything is a joke. It was whack. It was lame. It definitely felt like it's not real. And y'all just trying to stay to the end. So Jamala goes into Randall's room to talk to him. And he doesn't feel like she trusts him. And I feel like I don't know if this is about trust, Randall. What is she supposed to be trusting exactly? Trusting that anybody else's connection with you does not disrupt her connection with you. I feel like that's something she's going to have to learn on her own. I'm going to just keep it a buck. As a woman, I feel like it's a lesson that I have learned that you will have position in people's lives, regardless to if y'all are together or not. You'll have position in people's lives. A lot of y'all think just because y'all, tell y'all current person they can't talk to C and X, that means that person doesn't still hold positioning. But they do. Okay? And so a part of learning about that and positioning in relation to relationships with people having to change once y'all can't be in a relationship anymore is learning that every relationship doesn't have to be predicated on like the sex part of it. You know what I'm saying? Every relationship doesn't have to be the same or on the same level. So you can trust if you and a man have a connection and you need him to act accordingly in order for that, that relationship to be reflected in the way y'all treat each other, then just respect the boundaries, right? Like understand you yourself as a woman that none of those other women can do anything to fuck with the connection that you have with this man if the connection is real. And if the connection can be fucked up, that means it's not meant to be. So there's no need to press. There's no need to do any of this extra shit. And yes, as humans, we naturally get jealous, but we all have emotions that we have to check. We all have emotions that we can't let show all the time. It's called adulting, okay? So to me, what Jamala needed to learn is that if you and Randall have the connection that you say y'all have, then there's no need for you to be getting upset. There's no need for you to be feeling like you can't, like all of this extra shit that she was doing. There would be no need to do that if you were confident in yourself and in the connection you had with Randall. But you're not confident in yourself. You're not. You're not confident in yourself, which tells me that that's going to cause issue in you and Randall's relationship, even if y'all do decide to be together, because it's some work you got to do on the inside. Okay. And when I said all that, I was saying because I have like had relationships with people where I still love them and the relationship was over. You get over it. You get over it. Do you ever really stop like loving them or having a fondness for them? No. Do they have positioning in your life? Yeah, back there somewhere. Back there somewhere, yeah. But if you understand the positioning, then you don't need to sweat nothing else. It ain't meant to be. So let it be. That's something I feel like a lot of people don't understand. If it's not meant to be, let it be. You ain't got to do all this extra shit. And I feel like Jamala is doing a lot of extra shit because she doesn't have the understanding that really all you have to do is show up and be you, Jamala. That's all you got to do. And if you are enough for Randall, then whatever he's doing with those other women, however he's talking to them, should have no bearing on how you feel, especially when you decided to enter into a dating show where you're going to be around the man you're interested in and his other partners. Go busy yourself, bitch. Basically. Okay? I'm just saying, y'all, like for me, it would behoove her to go to therapy and, get in tune with her shit, because I feel like if Randall may low-key run him off because you're doing too much too soon. And when he said that, he doesn't feel like you trust him, that shouldn't have been the word, because honestly, Randall, you are not in a situation to earn trust. She's looking for loyalty, meaning she's looking for you to not be in these types of relationships with anybody else. You can't tell her she has to trust that you won't do that when you are on a dating show, also dating those other women. So to me, it was two things going on here. It was Jamala being extra as fuck and Randall making me feel like he's not trustworthy in the first place. So, I'm sorry, two things can be true at the same time. She's doing too much and he's not trustworthy. Because I don't think he did anything wrong. I don't. But I also think that the fact that he has not dwindled his numbers down, it's because there's a part of him that is a player. That is a part of him that does like to juggle the different women, that does like to get attention from the different women. And he's not necessarily ready to let that go. Doesn't mean he doesn't want you to be solely focused on him, though. That, one-sided monogamy shit. Which a lot of you girls run to do it, and I don't know why, but all right, girl. I didn't like that she said, so I'm just supposed to fake a smile while Kayla is in here tickling your scrotum. And I'm just kind of like, Jamala, nobody was tickling Randall's scrotum. But if they were, he is not your man. I'm say it again. He is not your man. So Kayla can tickle the ivories all she wants. Sorry. I had to say it real slow and real calm for you, love. Cause it's sad. It's sad. But I felt like something wasn't right about Jamila ever since she said she was 34. I said, my age? My age. You're my age? You need to watch Kendra G's single show. Last night, this guy said women should date multiple men because one. So this guy said women should date multiple men because it's decreasing their value. Child, I don't need to watch Kendra G in order to know that niggas are out here trying to convince y'all to be pure while they're ran through. I'm aware. That's this patriarchal society that we live in that says that women have to not fuck anybody, but men can fuck everybody. And I'm like, well, who are the men fucking? You see how this doesn't make sense? This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. So, people that say stuff like that, I just kind of be like, you're stupid. Be alone. Shouldn't date my pal. Oh, yeah, I got you. I understood what you meant. We shouldn't date multiple men. It's decreasing our value. I want to know who. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I think it's crazy for people who nobody cares about to think they can price value. You don't have a say on what anybody's value is. Like, you don't have a say on anybody's value. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Child, please. Child, please. The real value is not giving a fuck about what any of these niggas be saying. Like, who are y'all fucking? Are y'all fucking each other? Let us all know. Because we're interested. We want to know who y'all are fucking. If y'all are not fucking women, who are y'all fucking? Child, I was confused. Where in the world did this scrotum play take place? I was like, girl, they wasn't even that close. Jamala came off as a woman who's become intimate with Randall and caught in her feelings. Yes, Zelly Boo. Yes. I just wish she would have played it cool, went and teased one of the other men because she got body yaddy. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Hey, Bonnie and Chad, good vibes. Hey, look, I hope it's good vibes, y'all. But I just kind of feel like I just wish she would have went and did something, but she feel like he needs to pick a side because it feels like he's being a player. But I wish she would have played this game better. Because whenever women, start doing all of this over these, I'm just like, girl, don't do it. Don't do it. They're going to use it against you. Anytime y'all act like y'all care about these niggas too much, they use it against you. Oh, she was doing too much. I ain't like how she made me feel. You know good goddamn well you done made that lady feel special. And now she feels as if you in some way belong to her. And you know this. And if she were giving another man energy the way you giving all these women energy, you would feel away too. But we live in an unequal society, so you're allowed to do what you're doing and she's supposed to just sit there and deal with it. That's what's expected of her. And I would just like for you to just detach and think about yourself. That's what I would like you to do. Okay, yes, soulmates in my olive juice. Girl, don't remind me of the olive juice. Don't remind me of the olive juice, girl, because that shit right there was sad. So they have dinner. Trinika talks about crying every day for 3 months. So she had to do some inner work. And then Randall starts crying, y'all. And Randall says his last relationship was 4 years ago. He made a list of goals accomplished, and he accomplished those goals. And then he realized he didn't have anybody to do anything with. So now he's focusing on love again. And I just kind of feel like Randall, you sound crazy. I don't believe for a second that you stopped dating women just so that you could, put all of your interest in accomplishing your goals. I don't believe that. I believe you got out of your marriage and decided you wanted to have that dick free falling out here and you wanted to be about yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just think men don't like to frame it that way because then them dating around would be something that a person does for themselves. And then women would then date around because they would do that for themselves. But see, men don't want you to feel like that's something that's actually okay. So he's going to frame it like he wasn't really out there just fucking around with people because he just wanted to get what he wanted and nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And does that make sense? Let me know. Exactly. Sounds like you don't like your own company. That's another thing that it sounds like, she don't like her own company. Always got to be running behind, girl. Go do something with yourself. But Trinika felt like she was trying to make everybody feel sorry for her because a part of her projection is for y'all to see her as soft and demure and in need of saving. It's with old girl with the flower in her hair. She pushed that one too hard. Her right here. She pushed that narrative too hard of needing to be saved. But Trinika has the right amount of, wanting to be saved. Men don't like their own company. Yeah. No, it definitely feels like most men don't really like their own company that much. That's why you need to always have somebody running up and through making you feel good about yourself. But yeah, Randall says now he's searching for love now that he's accomplished all his goals. I feel like that sounds good on paper. That sounds good on paper, Randall. But I think you would probably be in a hole. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna just say that again. I don't think there's anything wrong with dating around. Whether you are a man or a woman, I don't believe in that puritanical view of women's bodies. I feel like women should fuck whoever they want to fuck. Everybody gets STDs, and these niggas are some of the dirtiest out. So if anybody needs to, clean it up, it would be the men for me, as far as, feeling like people need to be pure before you can fuck with them, and having less numbers and all of this bullshit that we grew up feeling like was such a good thing. Oh, you ain't fucked this many niggas, you better than the other one. Child, get the fuck out of here. Y'all just don't want us to have a lot of experience so we can be happy with your little dick. That's what y'all want. Y'all want women that don't know nothing so that they'll be happy with the lack that you give them. But anyways, child, what else happened? Swayze says that love scares him. And Samson said the same thing. I said probably the most honest thing he said since he's been sitting here. Swayze doesn't want to run out of time. That makes me feel like, is your relationship with Kadeem because you really like her, or is it because you don't want to be alone and she seems like a good enough fit? Because when you tell me you're running out of time, it makes me feel like you think you should hurry up and lock somebody down before you get too old and nobody wants you. And it's so funny because I feel like a lot of men think that only women have them, but I just kind of feel like not really. Like, nobody's running to date niggas that gotta take pills to get a hard on. Like, just like we can't keep having children as we get older, y'all dicks don't keep getting hard as y'all get older. Not all the time. Not all the time. So the idea that old niggas think that women are all, these young women gonna always want y'all, and girl, no, that's not true. It's so not cool for y'all to be the old nigga at the club, for y'all to be, a man dating girls they daughter age and shit like that, and coming through every other week with a new one and all. No, that shit is not cute. You're gonna get robbed and you're gonna get an STD. But y'all continue to get online and act as if it's only women that need to hurry up and find somebody. Child, I don't know why. Women seem to do just fine as they get older when they are single. Men be down, to their house, sitting in there, don't know what they're going to do. I know this for a fact that as men get older, they don't take as good care of themselves as women do. They don't have the same network of friendships. as women do. Women get involved in church and neighborhood and auxiliary clubs and all kind of shit. They want to help the community. All women get involved in shit. So they always got to be somewhere. And if something happened to them, somebody gonna call looking for them. Okay. Men, on the other hand, no, y'all don't like to give of yourselves in that same way. Y'all don't want to do nothing for nobody. Y'all attitudes aren't always the best. So y'all don't form those same relationships as y'all get older. Y'all don't even like one another like that. Niggas get together so that they can get drunk and go home and fall asleep. Okay. So a lot of older men, as y'all get older, like, yeah, Swayze got his head on right. You need to hurry up and find somebody before an old nigga that's at the house. And, you got to call your daughter and check in on her because she living her life. All right, daddy, I'm going to call you later. I was just saying, yo. And that's why that recent report showed men are unhappy with being single as they get older versus women. And it's true. I saw that. And that prompted a lot of different conversations that I watched people having. And I thought about, my own family dynamics and stuff like that. And, a lot of the men in my family, I don't know where they would be if it were not for their sisters, their wives. Like, I'm going to just say it. Like, they may have had good jobs. They may have been able to pay for their lives. But as they get older, their brains aren't as limber, I guess. So they forget things easier. They get more ornery, more stagnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, if it wasn't for my mama, I don't know where a lot of the men in our family would be if there wasn't a woman that took better care of herself there to be of aid. So yeah, no, I definitely feel like it's these men that more so need to be getting their shit together and getting better personality so you won't, die in your house, in your hot ass house with nobody knowing you was in there for days. And that's why, that's why women live longer, especially when we're unmarried. Women live longer than men when we're unmarried. Married men live so much longer because their women take care of them. Definitely the case. Yet they're so ungrateful. Girl, it is amazing. That was my father 100. True. My father locked down his new wife with a quickness because he was tired of, I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of the wrong. Don't you help me, girl, just as soon as you can. People say that I found a way to make you say that you love me, baby. And I know that. And as a natural fact, that ain't wanna come back, baby. Tell me where it's at, baby. I'm so tired of being alone. Child, listen, okay? Listen, if that ain't the damn truth, okay? Oh, Lord. And then there were men arguing in the comments saying how it wasn't true. Okay, sirs. I took that information and the men in my family, friends, as I've grown older, men that I've known in my life, at the end of the day, is always more women at these family functions than men. Okay? Yes, a lot of women grew up having to take care of the men in their families. Yes, imagine an old single man with no woman, daughters, or sister who is making the doctor's appointments, who do everything for them. Exactly. Yes, my cousin is like that, but he's gonna be alone because he believes in the red pill BS. Oh, that's a shame. Well, they a lot of times if you want to be alone and you want to be by yourself, go ahead and do that, sir. Now I'm thinking about Chris Tucker in Dead Presidents. Child, don't you think about it though? I ain't gonna lie. I do think about that too. I hate that scene. But anyway, y'all, we about to end this because this episode was boring. I don't think any of these relationships are really real like that. I feel like this review is better than a damn episode. Mike says he's trying to find a socket because he the plug. Yeah, we know. You're looking for a hole and you're the dick. We know. Um, Mike and Randall have a conversation amongst themselves after dinner, and Randall talks to Mike about how Jamala is so fragile and he didn't realize how she puts on this hard front. He didn't realize how fragile she really was. And Mike was like, really? You ain't realized that? I realized that at the beginning. And I'm like, oh, did you? Oh, did you? I wanted y'all to be cognizant of the fact that Mike knows women. So I want you also to be cognizant of the fact that he knows what he's doing when he interacts with them. Men are good at studying women and then acting like they're stupid. Um, because I feel like in essence, that's probably what Mike does, which is why he's able to get these very fragile open to his bullshit and his, his kind of disrespect. They're open to it. And then when they're not and they fight back, he has a temper tantrum, which to me explains his interactions with Sharice, with Kadeen, is that these women don't just take the bullshit. They'll throw it right back at him. And he don't really like that. He likes to fuck it, but he don't really like to deal with it. The plug has no power. It's useless unless it's connected to the outlet. Talk about it. Bonnie, I'm loving the shade today. I can't wait for your review of Love and Hip Hop because we need to talk about Sierra. First of all, let me tell y'all something about Sierra. She may be aggravating as fuck, but Sierra gonna get everything she gonna get out of nigga. Do you hear me? Okay, she gonna get two rings. She gonna get a house. She gonna get an apartment. She gonna get several cars. She gonna spend his money and hers. I know one thing. Y'all need to learn from Sierra with her old difficult ass. Be difficult. Be difficult. They told y'all not to be difficult. It was a lie. Be difficult. Okay. Um, like, girl, it's a shame. But he says Jamala is fragile. And I was just like, what do you think is going on? Like, what do you mean she's fragile? Like, I look, I'm gonna leave y'all alone with that. But Mike says that he just needs to learn how to reassure Jamala. And honestly, I gotta call a thing a thing. When he said reassure her, just sound like player talk. Sound like player talk. That's all. Um, the women talk to Tommy. The bottom two was Samson and Swayze. Tommy says he's gonna decide who goes home, and we didn't get to find out who it was. Okay. Now we're about to move on to Belle Collective because we stayed in here too long, girl. Yeah, Sierra in the DNA test, like what? We gotta talk about Safari in the chair. Off topic, I love this is a robe. It's from She Inside. Thank you. Can they please switch it up with some same-sex relationships? The current Rated Love format is so played out. We are bored as fuck. Love you, Bondy. Oh, I love you too. Girl, I don't think that they'll do that because that's not the church crowd that we living in. You know what I'm saying? It's a church crowd. They're not gonna do that. But they need to do something. They need to do something. But let's go ahead and get into Belle Collective. Y'all do me a favor, like the video. All right. Right. I would love that, but the audience wouldn't like it. Right. Yeah, Sierra and DNA test. Like what? I ain't even what DNA test? It's Safari. I thought Safari said he wanted a DNA test. Child, let's get to Letitia, strong woman, but really weak as fuck monologue. Did she give a monologue? I must have missed it, but let's get to it though. You're right. So Taisha, hold up. What lyric went again, child? I wonder if he went and got me some crabs. Because I sure want to fuck with you some crabs today. But anyway, I'm sorry. Taisha ran Tambra up out of Marie party, girl. Okay, because you're thirsty. You're thirsty. It's nothing to do with me and Demond. Okay? Jesus Christ. Me and Demond are trying to put this behind us. Girl, stop it. Anyway, I'm not participating. Okay, like listen. Tambra ran, and then Akeisha was like, listen, I don't know what's going on, but this the same woman we all been talking about with Greedy and all of that. Yeah, I may not be fooling with Akeisha right now, but I'm gonna be loyal to the women of this group, and I'm gonna go ahead and step out. And Taisha was like, but you interrupted me. You ain't letting me say what I came here to say. Ma'am, I don't care. Ma'am, I don't care. That's what she was saying. Ma'am, I don't care. Akeisha, let me tell you, I appreciate the integrity in this moment. I do. But I would like to remind you that Tambra didn't even want you in the group chat. So honestly, you could have just sat there and drank your drink and ate your food and watched it all play out. I don't know why you felt the need to gather your things and leave because you felt like they were doing something messy to Tambra. Marie kept saying over and over again, well, she always does all of our events. I don't know what the problem is. I didn't know there was an issue. She always does our events. Marie, girl, stop. Marie, girl, stop. Don't do that, Marie. Don't play with our intelligence like that, Marie, because that's what you're doing. You're playing with our intelligence, and I don't appreciate you. Okay, I don't. Because you did it because you was trying to be messy for the show. That's why. Because you wanted to come back and not be the villain. And so in order for you to not be the villain, you can still facilitate. You can facilitate the fuck shit, as I like to say. And so Marie decided to facilitate the fuck shit. Okay, she about to open a new facility, and we're gonna facilitate some fuck shit. I ain't mad either. I'm not mad. That's what we signed up for, Tambra. Okay. But Taisha says that she just wanted to get the timeline straight. I said, Meta, this ain't that show. This ain't that show, ma'am. Because she absolutely giving Meta vibes. Am I the only one that felt like this was just basically like Meta and Jock and Kendra all over again? Like, Jesus Christ. I'm going to need for all of these shows to stop having the same running theme of some old bitch that used to slide through all the time, wanting everybody to know that a man that's about to get married or got married used to be for her, and she can call on the dick whenever she wanted. Girl, nobody asked you that, though. Ain't nobody asked you that, though, Taisha. Nobody asked you for that, okay? I'm trying to understand, like, how did this even come about? I want to know behind the scenes, how did we find out that Taisha was fucking with Damon? Letitia, why you ain't been said that since you knew Damon and Tambra got back together? Why didn't you been say something since last season, since Taisha always puts together our events? What? That mean that she been putting events together this whole time? And Tambra, you host a lot of the brunches that Letitia throws, and you mean to tell me that you haven't had enough interactions with this lady for you to be on like more of a I can go and talk to Taisha my damn self type of vibe? It seemed like you hiding something. And Taisha said that there was some overlap with you and her in the mind, but that you was engaged to somebody else. So she don't know what you're mad for. I said, oh no, Tambra, not you being engaged to somebody else. What you mad for? Oh, child, we need for it to make sense at the reunion. So Latrice and Cliff, apparently Latrice and Cliff have haven't really been talking to each other. I don't know whether they weren't in the same house. I don't know what's going on, but I didn't believe it. As much as I want Latrice not to be with Cliff, I hate to say it like that, y'all. I really do. I hate to say it like that. Because I used to feel like, oh, don't speak, man. Look, I don't give a fuck. People gonna do what they want to do anyway. So I'm gonna say what I want to say anyway. And the truth of the matter is, I feel like Cliff don't mean Latrice no good. I don't think that Cliff means Latrice no good. I'm sorry. I think that he is doing what a lot of old niggas do, and that's using a young woman as a fountain of youth. A lot of men, I believe, older men, seek out younger women for a plethora of reasons. But one of those reasons is those women keep them young. Those women keep them interested. They keep them vibrant. It feels as if their lives have better quality when their woman is younger and therefore able to, you know, give them some of the energy. I feel it's a real thing, y'all. I feel like it's a real thing. It's a real thing for niggas to be energy vampires and to literally suck the youth from women by tiring them out and constantly taking and taking and taking, and only honestly only benefiting you when it benefits them, and then speaking down on you at times so that they can keep your mind trapped, because you have to think that you're less than them. So that's why he's going to talk down on you. So Latrice says that she wants a nuclear family, but she's not ready. She wants to be her own person. And Cliff is very controlling. She says she feels like everything she want to do for herself, he's standing in the way of it. And she wants to be seen as equal. Well, she talks to Cliff because Cliff ended up cutting his arm at work. And so Latrice is still his wife. So she goes and takes him to the hospital to make sure he's okay. But she says on her way there, not knowing what was happening, she was wondering, you know, if something happened and this would be the last time that she saw him, if he was passed, you know, if he might have passed, you know, you could have bled, cut an artery, child. He old, you don't know. But it had her thinking. And she didn't want the last time that she saw him for things to be the way they are, with them being at odds. So that made her want to have a conversation with him. And the smirk on his face made me feel like he cut his arm on purpose. I think too many days had gone by and you weren't going to call her because you're misogynistic and you want to control her. So you're not just going to go and get her. I think you cut yourself on purpose so that she would have to come to your aid. It would change her mood. She would go from being angry with you to being, you know, careful and wanting to care for you and make sure that you're okay. Oh, so I'm not the only one that believe he cut himself on purpose? Okay, yeah. I think he cut himself on purpose, especially since he's never done it before. And it's the first time that she was out the house, or they wasn't in the same house all that time. Yeah, I definitely believe that he cut himself on purpose so that she would have to come to his aid. And it worked, right? So they have this conversation and he says, you know, that's why you have to communicate. You just always shut down. And she explains to him, well, you talk to me in a very aggressive tone. And I don't like when you talk to me like that. And he says, well, I can't talk like a woman. I'm a man. That's the first shade right there. Because common sense will tell you it's not about talking like a woman or talking like a man. It's about not yelling. It's about speaking calmly. It's about not trying to beat someone over the head with your words. You know what she's talking about, but you make it a man-woman thing so that you can make it seem as if what she's saying is just some woman bullshit, like y'all like to do. Act like we think so differently so that when we're making sense, you're acting like, oh, women just think differently. No, you don't make fucking sense. And as long as you're convincing us that we don't make sense, then we go along with your bullshit. That's what it seemed like to me. Okay, on further investigation. He says, I can't talk like a woman. I'm a man. Latrice says, I see it as an adult conversation where you talk without yelling. He says, she thinks she knows everything and she's good with words and she's very convincing. But a lot of time, all her words add up to bullshit. I said, is that supposed to get her back? Is that supposed to get her back? Let me break it down. To me, what you said, and it's so funny because I could barely understand what the fuck he was saying. Thank God for subtitles. You told her that she was good at communicating after telling her that she needs to learn how to communicate. So which one is it? Which one is it? Can she communicate and she's very good at that? Or can she not communicate and she needs to communicate instead of running away, like you said? You're contradicting yourself, and it's because you just want her to be wrong. So you're coming at her from all of these different angles so she can feel wrong. So you can try to make her feel bad. So she can change what she's doing for herself, which is getting away from you. Trying to dismantle how she thinks about the relationship. That's what you're trying to do. Undermine her like she's stupid, like she doesn't know what she's talking about, right? And then saying that she's convincing, saying she's convincing was calling her manipulative. So whenever men say that, oh, so what, you perfect? You do stuff too. It's not just me, it's you too. But you never hear them really complaining about anything until you say something about them. That's what that sounded like to me. You were calling her manipulative, as if she's the bad guy because she's communicating with you that you're too aggressive for her. Cliff ain't shit, y'all. I'm sorry, Latrice. I'm sorry, sis. I know you're going to be mad because that's your husband, girl. But I'm just telling you, based off the way that man sat and talked to you, the words that came out of his mouth. I feel like a lot of time people don't be listening to the words that's coming out of these niggas' mouths. Because if you listen to the words and you put the words together and equal it into a sentence, he told you that you talk, you manipulative, and the shit you say is bullshit. He says if he didn't love her, this relationship wouldn't be great. If you didn't love her, y'all wouldn't be in a relationship, right? Isn't that the way it's supposed to go? So what is that? What did that mean? To me, it felt like a threat. If I didn't love you, this wouldn't be great. Meaning I'd do you any kind of way. If I didn't love you, then I'd grab you by your hair and pull you back in the house and lock the fucking door or something like that. I don't know what it meant, but I didn't like it. It felt like a threat. Okay. She says maybe she should have stayed gone longer then. And he said, well, you ain't got to go nowhere. I can send you on a trip. She was like, all right, well, send me somewhere then. Now, I don't know whether this was a sarcastic conversation or what, but I guess we'll see. She decided to take that time and take a pregnancy test. She took the pregnancy test. She is not pregnant. Thank you, God. He says she'll be pregnant by next year. I said, no, the hell she won't. Trees, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Cause you'll fuck around and have a baby and his old ass will stroke out on you. And then what? Girl, don't do it. Unless you really, 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 really want it. Don't do it. I also feel like we need to take a look at what Cliff's parenting skills were with those other children that we don't really see that often, that are her age. Because something tells me those children may have an issue with the fact that they daddy went and married somebody their age. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Y'all say Cliff used to be with Selena, huh? Before he got with Latrice. Is that what y'all was saying? I wonder what happened. Older men think they're the prizes because they have wisdom. No, not because they have wisdom. It's because they have benefits and good paychecks. That's what they think. But when I tell y'all Cliff hair is so bothersome to me, bothersome and problematic, okay? Anyway, Marie, Essie, and Letitia go look for Marie mom. She went to a trap house looking for her mama, and her mama came outside and said, give me $30 and go on up the street. I will meet you up the street. Eventually, then people had to leave because they just couldn't be sitting out there in front of the trap house. And I was just kind of like, Marie, don't do this again. Marie, don't do this again. Do you hear me? You need to understand you can't save everybody. And I know that's hard because that's your mama, but I feel like that lady been doing drugs so long, you probably don't even remember what it was like to have a mama that wasn't doing drugs. So do us all a favor and just let it be what it is. Stop trying to save her. Stop trying to run behind her, because I would hate for something to happen to Marie because she keep trying to save her mama from herself, and her mama don't want no help. Her mama don't want help. Her mama want to live her life the way she living her life. She wants to do drugs all day, every day. Let her. Let her. Y'all, I didn't watch people be on drugs all my life. I didn't watch people do drugs. And I mean, I didn't watch people do drugs my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing people that's actually on a day-to-day basis for years on drugs. And it ain't nothing that I feel like anybody needs to try to put themselves in the middle of, because I think it only gets fixed when the person themselves wants to stop. And if the person doesn't want to stop, you can't make them stop. And usually when they're Marie's mama's age, they're not going to stop because they've been doing it so long that their body can't function without it. I have seen many a time where people have gotten off of drugs and their body, being so used to being on the drugs, break down as soon as they get clean. Because their body has been on the drug and gotten used to it for years. So not being on it, once you get over, can she really fight through the sickness and the withdrawal? I know they got the drug to help you get off it. That's what Marie's whole business is supposed to be about. But her mama seemed like she don't want it. You know what I'm saying? And that's so sad to me. But that's why I feel like you got to release it, Marie. You got to release it. Because I feel like it would be so sad for us to find out that something happened to Marie because she was going out there trying to, find her mama or trying to drag her mama out of another situation like that, and somebody end up hurting her. Because that happens. That happens. And let me tell you something. When that lady said, because I'm addicted to drugs, and that's not to be funny, but it was the way she said it. The way she said it, I said, that lady not going to stop. She too old. She not going to stop. Once they get to a certain age, if they ain't stopped doing drugs by the time, like if they've been doing drugs since they was in their 20s, 30s, if they ain't stopped by the time they get to their 50s, 40s, 50s, if they ain't stopped, they not going to stop. Anybody entering into their 60s still doing dope, they not going to stop. At least in my experience of seeing a lot of people do drugs throughout my life. I'm from New Orleans, bro. I didn't see people that did crack, people that have been on dope for years, people that, did pills and cocaine for years. And that shit fuck your body up, man. That, yes, fuck your kidneys up, fuck your liver up. Recovering opioid addict here. Oh, all right, Kenya, I didn't even know that. 14 years clean, and the methadone is just as bad, if not worse. She needs medical detox. Is that what you meant? Pray for him, Lord. Pray for him. Let me tell you something. Do y'all know what did it for me? Because I know we long, but this is my last video of the day anyway. Let me tell you, Lady Sings the Blues. Lady Sings the Blues. My auntie played that movie for me when I was a child. She was like, pick a movie out. And I was like, what's this? Let's watch this. I had no idea what it was, but she put it on. And I fell in love with Billie Holiday after that. I liked her voice. I, to this day, love Billie Holiday. And throughout my childhood, I have watched several movies. I have read several books, just out of interest in her life. But when I was that age, watching that lady be on drugs like that, I said, never in my fucking life. Never in my life it hurt me so bad, y'all. And I connected with her on such a level that it stuck with me my entire life, y'all. Like my entire life. I was very young when I saw that. That shit stuck with me. So shout out to, Diana Ross and them for doing that movie, because I feel like that might have been single-handedly the moment in my life where my addictive personality was like, yeah, but that's some shit right there you will not do. Because I had surgery. I had to get my gallbladder removed, and they put you on Percocet and hydrocodone. And anybody that knows anything about a morphine drip, that knows anything about how that shit feel, that shit is it. The perfect way I'll explain it is, say you were freezing cold and then you get in a warm shower and you feel your whole body, all your blood start to warm up. It is the most release, like best feeling. It's relieving, but it feels so good, and you start tingling and shit all over. That's what it feels like. And I was like, oh, now I get why they do it. I get why, but I've always felt like, child, I cannot lose my looks. I can't do no drugs that make you lose your looks. It's too much. Okay. But I get it. I totally understand it. But that movie scared me to death. So I was just kind of like, yeah, no, that's going, that ain't gonna never be me. I might try some shit, but I ain't trying that. It's all right, Bonnie. She's been doing it so long. She doesn't want or know anything different. It be like that. It really be like that. Hold on, let me read out. My ex-husband, who is 8 years older, from New Orleans. I'm from LA. He lived in the Magnolia Project back in '82. He started on drugs, and I left after 1.5 years of marriage. He did not stop. That should be so sad to me, bro. That's why a lot of people be having to get out of New Orleans, because that drinking and drugging shit is heavy here. You know what I'm saying? People like to drink and drug. And when I tell you, I knew young people. Do you hear me? People that was only like maybe 4 or 5 years older than me being strung out. You know what I'm saying? People my sister age getting AIDS from intravenous drug use when I was a kid. Like, watch people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I caught the lessons personally. I remember seeing when DMX son got backlash for setting boundaries with his dad. Like, until you're the child of an addict, don't tell their kids when they should or need to. Yeah, nah, fuck all that. Child, that hydrocodone they gave me for my wisdom teeth surgery had me sleepy. I only took enough for 2 days when they prescribed enough for 5. Yeah, and normally nowadays they'll only give you 7 to 14 days worth of medication, because literally after 2 weeks of using it, you become physically addicted on some level. You start getting the itch, the junkie itch. Okay. I found out what that was like, which makes like the itching is in your blood happening under your skin. You know what I'm saying? Like the body like jumps and shit like that. You just start to notice. Child, watching something where Eddie Murphy was talking about how that thing with Sammy Davis Jr., his mouth to the side was a reaction to doing cocaine. I was like, yeah, they keep these drugs, bro. They keep some of these drugs, bro. I'm gonna just tell you, it's too much. But yeah, y'all, it made me feel sad for Marie, but Marie gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying? Gotta let it go. So yeah, y'all, moving on from there, Letitia and Glenn go to counseling. Child, hold up. Yeah, you have to change your environment. The people you associate with. I had to take hydrocodone this year. Very scary. I got through it though. Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody, isn't going to take on to things in that way, because I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never got to a point where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this shit now. It was definitely like, all right, this the last day to take this shit. That's enough. Okay. Promethazine is another one. Child, that's that cough syrup do you in. Child, we used to be out here rationing that cough syrup. Bitch, take a swig and leave the rest. Okay. Yeah, what Richard Pryor did to Pam Grier, putting cocaine on his dick and gave her cancer in her uterus, or in her I think it was either cervical or uterus cancer. It's a shame. But Letitia and Glenn, y'all. Letitia and Glenn. So Letitia and Glenn go to counseling. He saw her growing in a different direction and her not needing him. And even though he finds it sexy for her to be making money and making moves and all of that, he felt it was driving a wedge between them. It was driving a wedge between them. Remember, she had to work, so she couldn't stop working to fix him something to eat. That's the wedge she was talking about. And this is the thing I can't stand about you ninjas. What I can't stand about y'all. Your real issue is that she was not there to wait on you hand and foot when you came back in town from working offshore, which is what you were used to. Now you're going to present it in therapy as if her working on herself put a wedge in between the two of you that caused you to get depressed. And your reaction to getting depressed was to go and cheat on her, even though you had been cheating on her the entire relationship. You had been cheating on her before she decided to find herself and start focusing on her own business, Glenn. You had been cheating on her and talking to girls even before she did that. So which one is it? Is it because you're lonely and offshore, or is it because she decided to start working on herself and she wasn't available to you the way you wanted her to be? Which one is it, Glenn? Because see, I don't think it's either one. I think you just don't like the fact that it feels as if Tisha is no longer going to be there to be your doormat. And you want her to be there to be your doormat. That's what you want. Okay? Letitia feels like he's trying to manipulate her. And I was just like, that was a good catch, Letitia. I'm gonna tell you something. I think Letitia's a smart cookie, but I feel like she let Demon Dick control her mind. So she doesn't like that he's saying she wasn't there for him. She was very upset. She started to cry. The counselor asked if she's in love with him, and she says, I love him, but I don't know if I'm in love with him. And I feel like just say, no, I'm not in love with him, because you're not. You're not in love with him. You may love him for what he's been to you, like the child of your father, your child's father, the man in your life for all these years. You may have love for him. You care about him. You want him to live. You want him to prosper. You don't have any ill will on them besides hopefully they get cheated on the way they cheated on you. But outside of that, no, you can say you love them. But being in love with somebody means that you want to be with them, that you are excited about being with them. And you can't be happy or excited about being with a motherfucker that keep cheating on you, especially if that's not what you want. If that's not what's okay with you. Because some of y'all act like y'all okay with these niggas dating everybody and being with everybody and all of that, and y'all really not. Okay? I'm gonna let it go though, girl, because they're gonna call me a hater. Anyway, she says, I'm scared to be in love with him. And Letitia says she doesn't want to hurt anymore. Glenn, goes over to her and she's just like, and I was just like, girl, what? Why are you shaking your head? Yes, like you want him to come over and console you right now. Bitch, he's the reason why you're crying. He the reason why you're crying. But you want him to console you? All right. Who, Lord. The counselor says that Glenn has to do more pressing. Okay, he needs to put in more work. She says she can work towards it, and he has to, he has work to do on himself. Letitia says she thinks it will work this time because he has something to prove. And see, what I want people to understand is that people really do not change until something drastic happens. And you going over to your mama house during the taping of this show every now and again is not enough to make Glendale act any differently than he has. He has no reason to change. You're going to come back. It may take a little longer this time, but you won't come back because he's doing the counseling. He's stalking you. He's begging you. He's talking to your mama, probably talking to y'all's son. He's doing everything to get you back. And then as soon as he gets you back in that house and you all comfortable and happy and everything goes back to normal, he gonna go back to texting them hoes. And that's what they told us at the end of the episode, that he went right back to texting other women, which tells me one or two things, Letitia. Either we gonna have an open situation or we gonna break the fuck up. Because to me, ain't no such thing as just texting. You ain't just texting nobody. I don't want to hear that shit. To me, if you're texting them, you're fucking them. If you texting girls like that, if that's something you've been doing and you didn't have an outside baby, you ain't just texting nobody, you fucking these hoes. Somebody called Tammy and unfaithful and have them follow Glendale's ass up and through Jackson, Mississippi, so we can have, the addresses and faces for the girls he's going to fuck when he's not with Letitia, when he's driving around in his Charger. Child, and she moved back in the house with him. I'm trying to understand why you ever moved out. I would have kicked his ass out. He would have went offshore, came back, and them fucking locks would have been changed, and I'd have been like, I guess you need to find somewhere else to go. So Gucci got herself on a billboard in Jackson. Everybody came to support her. Akeisha broke ground on Ferry Street. Nobody was there to support her. And I thought that was like, I was like, why was only you and your husband and your assistant taking pictures? Why wasn't nobody else there helping break ground on Ferry Street with you? Akeisha, not even Tambra. Was she unavailable? Hmm. Anyway, y'all, that was the show. That was it. That was all. That's everything that went down on weekends on. I gave y'all a nice long ass fucking video for everybody that's gonna complain about it. I had fun. It was good conversations. If y'all wasn't typing shit in the chat, the video wouldn't be as long. So don't blame me. Blame the people in the chat that won't talk. Okay. Um, but it was a good episode. The reunion is next week, and it seems as if Carlos King is turning into Maury Povich. And we're going to have a DNA test done on Letitia's, soon to be stepchild. And I thought it was funny because now Safari want a paternity test. And we know that Jock and them probably did a paternity test. Girl, what other show is they going to pop up with a paternity test on? What other show? It was a great review. Thank you. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it because I enjoyed it too. I don't care that they're long. I don't. I like doing this. So however long I get up here and talk is however long I get up here and talk. It's just other people that be like, "Ooh, your video is long. Why you be on there so long?" And it just be like, because people talking to me and I'm talking to people, bitch. Like I ain't just sitting up here talking to myself. Like the video would have been an hour long if I was talking to myself. I'm talking to y'all. We talking. I'm reading comments. We chatting it up, you know? But anyway, I love y'all so very, very much. I appreciate y'all so much. Make sure all my members, did y'all see Love and Marriage Huntsville has been posted for y'all. If you're a member of my website, it's on the forum. It's been pinned, so it's at the top. If you are a member of YouTube, it's on the community page. If you're a member of Patreon, it is also on the dashboard. Okay. So, yes, I just said it, Courtney. All my paid people, y'all go ahead and get that paid Love and Marriage Huntsville review, girl. Oh, yeah. Okay, listen, I love it. I love me a good long video. I hope Erica De Niro and Jamie and Roxanne and them did something for me. When you hit 100K, more will be exclusive. Okay, stay behind the paywall. Yes, no, Love and Marriage Huntsville will stay behind the paywall. And watch when P Valley come back for seasons 3 and 4. Watch that shit behind behind the paywall too. Okay, keep playing. All right, y'all only gonna get certain things. Or I might start doing what Kimberly Foster does. She does her like I do my BondyBlue show. She'll do her like morning little talk videos, and she doing behind her paywall on Patreon, and then she cut it up and put it on YouTube for y'all to watch. I might start doing that, but I do enjoy my lives. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.